Hi, I'm Coach Joseph Correa, and today we're going to go over some upper body stretches that you can do to improve your flexibility and mobility around your body, especially the upper body today. Number one, what do we use the most of the time when we go and hit a tennis ball? We use our wrists, we use our elbows, we use our shoulders, and we rotate our upper body. So we're going to focus on all three of those right now. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and start with a rotating hip exercise, which is basically we're going to turn our backs towards the fence, and then we're going to take both hands, we're going to spread our legs a little bit apart, and we're going to turn our body and we're going to touch the fence, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rotate towards the other side, and that would be one turn. So we're going to do 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Once you get to 5, I want you to spread your legs further apart. By stretching your legs or taking your legs a little bit further apart, what this does is it works a different area of your lower back when you touch the back fence. We're going to do 5 of those as well. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. Now, if your feet are moving a little bit on the floor, that's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. For the first few times, that might happen. And then what I also want you to do is when you do this exercise, if your elbows are bent, doesn't matter. If your elbows are locked, it doesn't matter either. As long as you're turning. Remember, you're focusing on the lower body. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and fully extend your arm, and we're going to stretch by holding our fingertips, fingers all the way out. And when we do this stretch, I want you to extend your elbow and your arm out in front, okay? You can also do this downwards, which will intensify the exercise. But for now, I want you to keep it out in front. Now, sometimes you're gonna notice that your thumb is sticking out. So I want you to go ahead and try to wrap all fingers around like that. I'm gonna show you an alternate exercise that you can also do. The goal is to hold for 10 to 15 seconds as well. If you can reach for 20 or 30 seconds, it's actually better because the muscles simply stop fighting the tense feeling that they have, and then they just give in, and that's where you really get the stretch where they just relax all the way through. And you're going to do that for both arms. You're going to go ahead and extend so that you can fully stretch both hands. Remember, even though you might hit with just one hand, I want you to stretch both hands because it creates a balance between flexibility on both sides. Now, this is the advanced version of this same stretch. What I want you to do is I want you to put both hands on the floor like this, and then I want you to step further out with your knees to get an enhanced stretch. And there, you're gonna hold for 10 to 15 seconds. If it's too tight or your wrist hurts, then simply skip the exercise or come closer together with your knees so that it's a very light stretch. As you do this, you're gonna notice that your flexibility is gonna increase, and that when you go to hit the tennis ball, you're gonna be able to swing a little bit faster because your muscles are a little bit more mobile, which is extremely important. For our next exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch a little bit our shoulders. How are we gonna do that? First of all, for the shoulders, you have to be very gentle, but you still wanna make sure they get a little bit of a routine stretch in there. So we're gonna put both hands together. We're gonna go ahead and lock your fingers together, and then you're gonna bring your hands down and down and down until you find that position where your shoulders start to really stretch. Now, one of your two shoulders is gonna be tighter than the other. Because that one shoulder is gonna be tighter, you're gonna really wanna hold that position a little bit longer. If you don't feel anything, you can also do this same stretch and tilt a little bit to the side, okay? Tilt your head and then hold for 10 to 15 seconds and do the same thing to the other side to kind of get a neck and shoulder stretch at the same time. For our final exercise, I want you to go ahead and put both arms up, and then you're gonna grab that elbow. You're gonna go ahead and hold that elbow just there, okay? And the goal is not to keep your head down. The goal is to keep your head up as you do this exercise. But now what I want you to do is I want you to tilt a little bit to the side, 10 to 15 seconds. And then once you're done with those 10 to 15 seconds, I want you to stretch a little bit further out by pushing your right hip out when you're doing your right side, your right elbow. And you're gonna hold for 10 to 15 seconds as well. And then for the last round, you're gonna hold for 10 to 15 seconds as well. And then once you're done with that stretch, I want you to slowly come back to the middle, and then you're gonna do the same exact thing for your opposite arm. You see how my head is pushed toward, tilting down towards the court. I want you to lift that head up, squeeze that lower back, and then go ahead and start tilting 10 to 15 seconds. Once you reach those 10 to 15 seconds, you're gonna go ahead and do the same thing a little bit further out, 10 to 15 seconds. Remember to use the breathing to relax your muscles. Try not to force the muscle. Try not to pull it or tug it. The goal is to stretch it. So you gotta give it time, and you have to be patient with those muscles. And then for those last 10 to 15 seconds, I really want you to take deep breaths. Okay, this has been a really good upper body stretch that's gonna help you play better tennis, and it's gonna allow you to be more effective on the tennis court. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thank you.